Brian, you talk about that in your book. That's one of the examples in your book that you talk about. And then there's another one you talk about where the guy, Jim Beam story, actually.
Yeah, I took the gloves off in this one.
Yeah, so when I hear you say, so your book is titled Stand for Something, and I love that, and we'll talk about that a little bit more, but in that instance, to stand for something meant kind of having to have a tough conversation with someone that wasn't listening or wasn't receptive to what you were sharing. Do you want to talk about that?
For sure. I think the way I would boil this down, Steve, and it's a heck of a thing to bring up, is that not everyone wants to hear what they're doing wrong. And in many ways, much of what I do, although there's a ton of science to it, there is some opinion. One man may say it's great, another man say it's garbage.
But and I hate to interrupt, but it's like, I think it's one of the reasons why we don't lean into getting good at public presentations or getting good at it, because we're vulnerable in that moment, and to hear someone bring it is like you're having to admit, and when you're used to being in charge, that's not probably your normal.
It's not normal at all.
Yeah.
I mean, and so we even had T-shirts that say, "Can you handle the ugly truth?" Because it's tough, right?
Yeah.
And it's the kind of thing where, if you think about it, this guy in particular, he was the president and CEO of Jim Beam, as in bourbon, booze, etc. Big, huge, many billion-dollar global brand. And when he says go, we go. Nobody challenges what these kind of guys say or do. And my job, the reason I'm here, is to really swing what I call the velvet hammer. I have to hit people with both love, but then actionable insights to make them better. That's why I was hired. And when you get these kind of levels of people, and I work with these kind of people all the time, finding the right balance of how to tell them, here's some ways to improve what you've done, and here's why, is challenging. Because all they hear is negative, and all they hear is, who are you to tell me? Mm-hmm. So Jim Beam's story is pretty interesting, because this guy was just straight up obstinate. He just did not want to hear it. What he kept saying to me is, you don't understand our audience. And what I kept saying to him is, no, you don't understand that your audience is made up of people. And people are people everywhere. We have issues, wants, needs, desires, etc. And he just would not take my advice. And it was the kind of thing where I really tried every carrot and stick and everything in between. And ultimately, it was the kind of thing where I was kind of like, you know what? I washed my hands of this one. And he colossally crashed and burned. I mean, it was just epic. And his tenure was brief. He was in, he was out. He was not the right guy for that job. And he has been selected out. He's been liberated to other greener pastures.
He was set free to flourish in a different role.
Yeah, but people are really, it's interesting. I've now learned after all the years of doing this, when people hear about what I do, even like this past week, it's end of the week when we're talking. This was earlier this week. I was at a big, large event, and people found out what I do, and they said, oh, well, can you share with me your thoughts? And I say, well, be careful. If you really want me to do this, I will, but I want your permission to give you feedback, because if I just offer feedback, then I'm just a jerk. People have to want to hear this stuff.
Amazing, right? That's the way to do that.
Thanks for watching these Golden Nuggets. And as a reward, I got another big fat Golden Nugget just for you. I wrote this book for you to help you get your act together online so you can grow your business better. You're searching, you want to learn. This is a great book. Grab the book, grow your business.